Now let's call in the starters for the Navigators Iloilo. At number 2, Kyle Villamor. Wearing jersey number 9, Gils Torres. At number 12, Kent Sabando. Number 13, Nas Guaza. At 18, Mads Gampong. Number 21, Aldre Ferrer. Starting libero is number 15, Vince Lorenzo. Head coach is Mr. Rizalito Del Moro. Now let's call in the starters for the Ateneo Fudgee Barr. At number 4, Jetly Gopio. Wearing jersey number 5, Kennedy Batas. At number 7, James Licauco. Wearing jersey number 14, Cyrus De Guzman. At 16, Anjo Almandro. Number 17, Jerick Sendon. Starting libero and their team captain is Lance De Castro. Head coach is Timothy Santo Tomas. This is match number 44 between the Navigators Iloilo and the Ateneo Fudgee Barr. Good luck to both teams.
Check out the starters for the Navigators Iloilo for this one. Villamor, Apolinario, Torres, Sabando, Guaza, Gampong, and Lorenzo as their libero. Meanwhile, for the other team, ang kanilang makakatapat, the Ateneo Fudgee Barr Blue Eagles. You see Batas, Licauco, De Castro as their libero. You also have Sendon, De Guzman, and Almadro for this one. And we welcome you to our coverage of the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference on Pilipinas Live and on One Sports Plus Dip Dipianco with Neil Flores calling this match the nightcap for our Sunday quadruple header. Noticeably, Neil, for Coach Timothy Santo Tomas, no, a lot of different faces on the floor right now to start the game.
There are a lot of players absent actually in the roster of the Ateneo Fudgee Barr Blue Eagles right now. So magkakaroon ng shift also in their positioning. You see Batas is in the left wing, Sendon is in the right wing. And for the Navigators Iloilo, same pa din, but Francis Saura will be coming off the bench.
And first blood drawn by the Navigators.
First point goes to Navigators.
Both teams only having one win pa lang here in the pool phase of the Spikers Turf.
Good first ball by De Castro. De Guzman. Free ball for Ateneo. Licauco sets up the play. Kept alive by Iloilo. Gampong with a push. James with a setup to Batas, and he scores.
In the past few games, ang natural possession talaga ni Kennedy Batas would be an opposite hitter, but right now, kulang sila ng players. That's why Coach Timmy decided to put him back on the left side. So he will be responsible in getting a certain zone for their reception. Yan yung pinaka-importante for Ateneo. And for the Navigators, they will have a chance to capitalize by using Mads Gampong in these combination plays.
Yeah, and this is a relatively different team from the Navigators that entered the semifinals last time around.
Ferrero with a delay on the middle blocker ng Ateneo.
Villamor with a serve. Licauco. Oh, Gopio able to get that one through.
Campfire defense there from the Navigators. Since it's a very short pool phase here in the Spikers Turf, hindi talaga pwedeng mabaon ka in terms of the win-loss card because you have a little opportunity na makabawi. You will only face 4 teams in this case, and they are pooled with 2 of our top collegiate teams in NU and Perpetual.
Right, Pool A is actually a very tough pool to be in. Arguably, it is the most talented pool. But it has been competitive across all the groupings here in the Invitational Conference. Meanwhile, Ateneo ties the game up at 3-all.
So far, so good. Net defense holding up for the Blue Eagles.
Batas will serve. Short on that one, and the free point given up.
Now the Navigators, Iloilo, they're actually maximizing the two liberos, and Espanso and Lorenzo.
Licauco on the set to Gopio, and 2 points now for Jet Gopio.
We know that he will be the second main attacker for Ateneo. So ball distribution will be crucial for James Licauco. He played well in their previous game. Unfortunately, again, they lost in 5 sets. Yun yung mga masasakit na talo because you were already up 2-0.
Right. You mentioned the reverse sweep done by their opponents, the Army Troopers on that one, and that ball is into the stands. Point goes to the Navigators.
Powerful hit there from the left side. Batas couldn't control that dig.
Kent Sabando getting set to serve. Yeah, they're just making an adjustment on the net. So play resumes with Iloilo up by 1. A block point for Nas Guaza.
Timing was perfect. He saw that Batas was approaching for that pipe attack. Hindi na siya sumabay dun sa middle blocker.
6-4 is the score. That is a bit too long for Sabando.
We might just see the first challenge of the day. Yes, that will be a challenge for the Navigators. Ball in or ball out.
That was actually close. That service from Sabando. And we will see if this will be successful to give another point for the Navigators Iloilo. Two-point lead right now for them. In terms of service, aces, itong the Navigators have 8 in total as a team so far in the tournament. They're a relatively talented team, and this is a team that actually reached the semifinals once.
Yeah.
In the Spikers turf, Neil. Pero looks like they're still trying to get a feel of their new squad.
Yep, that is clearly outside. Ball will remain with the Blue Eagles.
Lead is down to 1. Licauco will serve. They go back row to Gampong. What a play from Mads Gampong.
Well played by Aldre Ferrer. He got the commitment from the two blockers of Ateneo to go up against Nas Guaza for that quick attack. Ganun talaga when you have an explosive middle attacker like Nas Guaza, makakakuha ka talaga kahit isa.
He was able to bait a blocker for Ateneo. Licauco chooses Sendon. De Guzman will set to Licauco, who sets it again. And that is outside.
Villamor wanted to go for that cut shot. Close first set we're seeing.
6-7 is the score. Almadro with the serve. Ferrer upset. Good dig by De Castro. Coverage is there for Almadro. Chance for the Navigators. Ferrer The 1-2 play, and it drops. And that sends us to the first technical timeout. The Navigators up by 2.
Gentlemen, earlier I was able to talk to Coach Timothy, the head coach of the Ateneo Fudgee Barr, and he told me that today it's just an opportunity to learn for the team, particularly for our new starters who are nothing but eager to learn. Here we can observe that some of the typical starters of Ateneo are not present, and Coach Timothy disclosed to me that these players are some busy while some are still not in a good condition to play with a few medical concerns. Still, Coach Timothy puts a lot of trust to his team, and he would always remind them to just do good, focus on their roles, and the win will follow. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Denise, for that report. So let's dig deeper to what Denise mentioned, O'Neil. Some of the players you mentioned, nasa beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Salarzon is there, I believe.
Amil Pasino is also there playing for the Blue Eagles in the UAAP. So right now, itong game nila is actually for the younger ones, the rookies also, so that they can gain playing time, because we know that their main league talaga na upcoming is the UAAP. So they're using the Spikers turf as a means to get the experience and the composure para matest din yon, because we know that the UAAP is a different ball game.
Right. It's a different animal, as they say, and it will happen early next year. Meanwhile, this is a good preparation for them to get the experience coming into that season. Meanwhile, Iloilo back up by 2. And that is wide.
Original possession for Sendon would be the middle blocker possession, but now he's on the right. So makikita mo rin yung change in the timing. So he has to settle down and get his range first.
They go to Gampong, and that is a point for Mads Gampong.
Great acquisition for the D'Navigators. For a while, parang nawala din si Mads Gampong sa volleyball scene, but he found his way back here with the blue shirts.
Yeah. In the past couple of competitions he's played was, I think, in PNVF, di ba? Naglaro din siya. Batas will get a point.
This is the strongest front line in terms of attacking for the Blue Eagles. They have Jet Li Gopio there and Kennedy Batas.
That is outside, and back-to-back points for Ateneo.
Kakaiba yung swing ni sa banda, no? That whip and that side spin goes wild. So pag pumasok yun, mahirap rin talaga yung depensahan.
So it's a high-risk, high-reward type of attack. Meanwhile, outside naman yung service ni Sendon. And the lead is back up to 3 for Iloilo. Batas. Here will be a check.
We saw the change in the spin dun sa bola. It hit the fingertips of the blockers of the Navigators before it went out of bounds.
10-12 here in the opening set. Ferrer back sets to Gampong, and another one for Mads.
Power hit after power hit. Navigators just showing their might here in the opening set.
Licauco goes to Gopio, and that's a point.
It was supposed to be a slide attack, pero napataas yung set ni James Licauco, but Jetly Gopio just decided to put that ball over. Should have been a loose block, but
Yeah.
they bitawan so that they can set up their transition offense. Talking about the Navigators.
Sabando was not able to get a good read of that. Ferrer again to Gampong.
All of the hitters have that power dito sa side ng Navigators.
$14 serving 11. Licauco goes to Batas. High free ball given up by Gampong. Licauco a bit close to the net. It's kept alive. Error on the part of Villamor.
Clearly bothered by the two-man block set up by the Blue Eagles.
And Ateneo just sticking close here in set number 1, who are behind by 2 points. Villamor.
Oh, it was a good dig. Substitution. Ryan Dakulan will be replacing Sendon. This is interesting because Ryan Dakulan is also a middle blocker. So one of them will occupy that right pin. I'm assuming si Dakulan yon.
And he gets his first try. That one inside for the Navigators. And that sends us to our second technical timeout. The Navigators up by 4.
I think one word that would best describe him is dedication. Every time he teaches something us, I would greatly feel how dedicated he is to his craft. He's gonna do like one-on-one turo. I can feel na he's really dedicated and really wants his players to excel in our field. So yeah, dedication.
Bingo Plus is the first live streaming bingo in the Philippines. Will this be the first straight set, or will we continue to see extensions? This whole day, Neil, has been unpredictable. We had 5 sets in the first one in a reverse sweep by Letran, winning that one over Adamson. The second match ended in 4 sets, with Savoj getting that win over Centromol. And then just a while ago, it was a 5-setter, Eco-Oy Lasal over Air Force.
Coach Timmy Santo Tomas will switch liberos, Lainwell Crisostomo.
Service ace for Nas Guaza.
That is a deadly serve that will push Coach Timmy to burn another timeout.
Puro kayo pag-aabot ng bola, ayaw nyo na naman iharap yung katawan nyo sa pagdadalhan nyo ng bola.
Yes, coach.
Okay? Next, alam nyo na nagkamali kayo, wala man lang support, Lance. Alam mo nang pa-over yung bola, alam mo nang magre-regalo, kahit mo wala man lang support.
Okay, coach. That's fine. Sorry.
Diba? Lahat tayo, tinan mo, lahat ng ginagawa nyo, nalakasan yung serve, mamadaliin nyo yung bola. Asan yung ball control? Ha?
Okay, coach.
Sabi sa inyo, hindi nyo makukuha sa madalian yung puntos eh. Kailangan nyo papagalin yung bola. Nakita nyo, minamadali kayo, papagalin nyo. Hayaan nyo makaplay ng maayos yung setter nyo.
Okay, coach. Bawi tayo. Sige. Sa amin yun, ha.
Timeout called by Coach Timothy Santo Tomas. Instruction specifically, I think, on the defensive
Yeah.
side of things for Ateneo.
Right now, they're very tentative on their first pass, and dahil nga kulang na sila ng players pagdating sa attacking, kailangan nilang makakuha ng magandang pasa so that hindi mahirapan itong si James Licauco to distribute the balls. That should be a non-negotiable talaga for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. But right now, the Navigators are on a roll. 7-point lead for the Blue Shirts.
That was Villamor. And Crisostomo unable to handle. 19-12. Way out for Guaza.
Ateneo needed that break point. Now let's see if they can actually score consecutively in this specific rotation.
Here comes Gampong. Licauco upset. Batas on the push. Ferrer. And down it goes for the Navigators.
Net violation also called on one of the blockers of the Blue Eagles. Right now, Ateneo is looking for a leader. A leader that is going to be very vocal pagdating dun sa positioning nila on the receiving end. That's a better pass from Crisostomo.
Good set by Licauco to Batas.
No coverage behind the double block of the Navigators. Ateneo still trailing by 6. Now, Mangulabnan will be replacing De Guzman on the serve. So there will be 2 setters on the floor.
Yeah, this is
for
what you're
Ateneo.
saying, Neil, na players will play multiple positions because of the short rotation of Coach Timothy Santo Tomas. Ferrer back sets. Lorenzo. Batas again. And that's a point for Ateneo.
He will get the check ball according to the lines judge and the first referee, but hindi papalagpasin ng the Navigators yon. They will challenge that call, a block touch challenge.
Well, let's see what will happen in this challenge by the Navigators.
The Navigators have been solid here in the first frame. We saw different attacks set up by Aldrey Ferrer. Mads Gampong got a lot of attempts, pero there were also contributions from Nas Guaza and Torres from the middle. There was a no block touch. The Navigators will win that challenge.
So a 7-point lead right now established by the Navigators. Mangulabnan heads back to the bench after that service. And it's Villamor on deck for Iloilo.
Shank pass there from the Blue Eagles. That will definitely be an overreaching violation called on Jet Gopio. The ball was still on the side of the Navigators.
A timeout once again called by Ateneo.
Kahit mo, hindi mo alam kung anong ginagawa mo. Talon ka lang ng talon dyan. Hindi mo alam kung tapat ko na ba talunin yung bola o hindi. Nasa court ko na ba yung bola o hindi. Diba? Nawawalan tayo ng ball awareness, oh. Presence of mind. Ang gusto lang natin, makipagdiinan ng palo. Gusto na natin makipagpatayan. Hindi natin alam kung tama yung ginagalaw natin. Okay? Guys, huwag nyo madaliin. Dahan-dahanin nyo yung bola. Okay? Hayaan nyo si James dumiskarte. Kung mamadali nyo siya, mahihirapan din siya eh. Okay?
Hinga lang.
That's a good observation for Coach Timmy Santo Tomas. Hindi makakadiskarte yung setter pag iba-iba yung locations kung saan dumadating yung pasa or kung masyadong mabilis dadating sa setter's zone.
Batas breaking the block.
Good response from that timeout.
But still a 7-point advantage for the Navigators. Itong hinahabol ng Ateneo. The attack works.
It's very difficult to read yung angle na pupuntahan nitong si Sabando because he has a wide range. We saw different variations of his attack also a while ago.
Chumbinko checks in to serve for the Navigators. Good first ball. That leads to that setup by Licauco to Gopio.
That's the right height and that's the right timing para dun sa slide attack na yon. It shouldn't be really a high set because you want na ma-delay yung blockers.
That's what they were unable to do a while ago, no? But Crisostomo also with a good reception on that play. 16-23 outside for Batas.
The Navigators now at set point advantage.
And now the Navigators are at set point. Oh, that's way short for Gampong.
Definitely too low. They still have seven set points rather.
17-24. And that ends on a service error from Gopio. And set number 1 goes to the Navigators Iloilo, 25-17. We will give you set number 2 when we come back after this break. Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center in Manila, you're still catching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference here on Signal TV. We take a look at the highlights of set number 1, the Navigators Iloilo. Had a quick start there, Neil, taking advantage over the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
From the get-go, they utilized the heavy serves and power spikes para ma-overcome nila yung net defense and floor defense ng Ateneo. Ateneo, we felt that they were just very tentative. That's why we can see the discrepancy in the attacking department. James Licao really tried his best to adjust to the receives given to him. Pero nahirapan din talaga sila. They also gave up 9 errors in set number 1 compared to the 5 of the Navigators Iloilo.
Now we see the numbers on your screens for the Navigators Iloilo. 25-17. Let's see what adjustments will Ateneo make. What did you see? What else did you see in the part of the white shirts in that set number 1? But before that, Neil, you have the numbers of the leading scores so far in this game.
Villamor already has 6 points. Gampong has 4. And for Ateneo, as expected, the duo of Gopio and Batas conniving for 10 points, 5 points respectively.
We are set to begin the second one here on Pilipinas Live and One Sports Plus. Dip Dipianco with Neil Flores calling this match along with Denise Valdesancho as our courtside reporter. Changes on the part of the Navigators. De Pedro will start set number 2. Ferrer goes to De Pedro and right away a point.
Kadalasan si De Pedro starter din for the Navigators. So they are also switching things up here in the second set. De Pedro is a steady outside hitter. Kompleto din eh. Meron siyang pasa and he's a smart hitter as well.
Good save by Crisostomo. Torres with a push. Ball is kept alive but a miscue on the part of Ateneo. Villamor off speed. A lot of bodies diving for Ateneo, scrambling, but finally that ends.
Early 2-point blitz here for the Navigators. Again, they need this win and they need to wait for the results of the games of Perpetual Health because right now, sure na itong Santa Elena Nationals, they have a 4-0 win-loss card. And right next to them, it's the University of Perpetual Health System Delta Quinto Tires with a 2-1 record. Philippine Army also has a 2-1 record, followed by Ateneo and the Navigators.
There's going to be a tight race for that number 2 spot in Pool A action. Ateneo looking for their first point of this set. Torres just out jumping everyone.
Still tight passing we're seeing from the Blue Eagles. And back row player si James Licao, so they have to take that into consideration as well. Na kailangan magkaroon ng proper distance between him and the net so that he can pass that ball to an attacker. Meanwhile, Aldre Ferrer is having a field day, just enjoying perfect passing from his teammates, setting up the attackers of the Navigators. A 5-0 run for the Navigators.
Diretso, lahat ng bola, diretso na sa inyo. Di nyo na nga kailangan gumalaw eh. Matatamayan nyo lang yung bola sa kamay ninyo. Hindi nyo pa magawa ng maayos. Para kayo pumunta dito, para ano? Para hindi maglaro eh. Para gusto nila ata, pumunta lang kayo dito para sa attendance eh. Kaya natutunan natin. Nagsaya lang kayo na paghihintay nyo ng oras dito kung ayaw nyo rin pala maglaro.
Yeah, it's been a long day here in the Paco Arena. We started at 11 a.m. It's almost 9 p.m. We're down to our last game. And since you waited a very long time, might as well make use of the opportunity to get a win for your team.
And Coach Timothy Santo Tomas very real with that talk for his squad, no? He wants to see some fight for the Blue Eagles. But they have to show that they're here not just to participate and attend the game, but show out.
They will switch setters. Malabnan will be the playmaker for Ateneo.
They go to the left side. Chance here for Iloilo. Torres again.
Ooh, look at the hang time from Torres, former standout of the University of the East. And now he is with the Navigators.
7-0 here in set number 2. And the first point of Ateneo comes from that error of Ferrer.
Still a 6-point lead though for the Navigators.
De Guzman will serve now. And an ace. Back-to-back points for Ateneo.
Somebody pushed the buzzer, so we're just double checking if there is a timeout or a substitution. Pero wala, mukhang napindot lang.
Cyrus De Guzman has 3 points so far in this game. Villamor gets another point as he sends us to our first technical timeout, 8-2.
Gentlemen, I had a conversation earlier before the game with Naz Guaza of the Navigators Iloilo, and he mentioned that he really wants to just go for their last game to play like they really enjoy volleyball. And this also goes for his fellow navigator, Kent Sabando. Now, this Iloilo native here was discovered in a game in Iloilo, and kwento nga sa akin, so far he's enjoying daw his time in Manila. At simple lang naman ang kanyang mantra for this game, sipag, in the hopes of winning against Ateneo. Deep, Neil?
Thank you, Denise, for that report. Well, a win here for the Navigators will get them up in the standings for their second win, for more chances of entering the next round here in our Invitational Conference. Right now, they lead by 6. Villamor bumps it. Sabando, picked up by Mangolabnan. Batas on a drop.
Good drop ball there from Batas, just disguising it so well.
So after 8 straight points from the Navigators, Ateneo has responded with 3 of their own. Another good serve. Oh, De Pedro and Ferrer. Nagkailangan, nagkahiyaan in that play.
But that should have been Aldre Ferrer's ball to get because he is the setter, so automatic. Unless sobrang layo talaga, he can actually ask help from his teammates. But that was a reachable and the settable pass.
Ferrer upset. It's kept alive by De Castro. Ferrer on the up to Torres, who has been great here in set number 2.
And that's why the Wings have had an easier time attacking the defense of Ateneo kasi sobrang nagiging productive yung mga middle blockers ng Navigators. A while ago, it was Guaza taking the lead, and now it is Torres.
Mangolabnan back sets to Gopio.
Great isolation play there from Mangolabnan. Dragging the blockers all the way to the right side of the court.
Lorenzo able to get that. De Pedro dug up by Batas. Sent back by Guaza. Another one. Long rally we're having. Mangulabnan, tough set to Batas. Guaza.
Yeah, that will be a double contact violation. Wanted to do that Japan trick. Madalas na natin yan nakikita here in the Spikers turf, but execution should always be on point pag magkakaroon ng mga feint or fake sets like that.
I tried to be flashy on that one. That one drops for Sabando.
Just enough power to get that across. Wanted to go for a sharp cut.
Oh, the 1-2 kept alive by De Pedro. Jan this time sets up the play to Gopio, and it drops.
Two consecutive slide attacks successful for Jet Li Gopio. A while ago, they were down by 6 points. Now, it's just a 3-point ball game. Naglulusen up itong depensa ng D'Navigators with all of these isolation plays. 7 points already for Jet Li Gopio in this game.
7-10. That's outside. Ateneo has done a good job though. After trailing by 8 points here, Neil, biglang na ibaba nila sa 3 before that error.
Consistency still an issue for the white shirts. For the Navigators, they're just playing in system. But meron din silang mga unforced errors kagaya ng service na yun from their outside hitter.
Ferrer chooses Guaza. And nobody home for Ateneo.
Galing pa sa pinakalikod itong si Mangulabnan. He did try to go for a pancake save, but the two defenders na mas malapit dun sa bola, they weren't able to react to that drop ball of Guaza.
Mangulabnan. Ferrer trying to find the spot, but De Castro read that one. Almagro will send it over. This time sets up Torres. Naabot pa rin ni Almagro. Third try for the blue shirts. De Castro playing good defense. And Batas delivers for Ateneo.
Probably the longest rally we've seen in this match. Ateneo starting to make their move here in the second set. Now activating the back row attacks of Batas.
Almagro with a serve.
Oh, what a play from Aldre Ferrer. That's why it's very important for setters to go to their jump sets. Kasi dun pa lang sa motion ng jump set, may tendency ng malito yung defenders on the other side. And that's exactly what happened. Again, the two blockers went up against the middle of the Navigators.
Mangulabnan to De Guzman. De Pedro checked. Espanso switches sides to Villamor. Good defense by Almagro. Batas though. Outside.
Zone 1 was open, so that was a good intention on the side of Ateneo. But there was just too much power on that hit.
Mangulabnan goes to Dakulan. De Pedro, oh, good save by De Castro. Here comes Batas. Naabot ni Sabando. De Pedro twisting and turning. Back with the Navigators. Torres, yes!
Great find, great spot for Torres. Such a soft touch. Beautiful. Look at that.
Ginaplis lang eh.
Yeah. Mas mahirap i-master yung ganong soft touch compared to the power hits.
Tendency, I would say, Neil, I guess, is baka mabitin pa yung mga ganong atake. Meanwhile, Ferrer gets the service ace and he sends us to the second technical timeout.
Siguro kung hindi ako volleyball player, siguro singer ako ngayon. Kasi magaling ako kumanta at saka maganda yung boses ko. Ikaw na nga ang hinahanap ng puso.
Watch the PBA 3x3 second conference this year every Monday and Tuesday only on One Sports, PBA Rush, and Pilipinas Live. PBA 3x3, lakas ng tatlo. Pinapahirap ni Mads Gampong yung trabaho natin dito. Pinapatawa. Di ko alam kung seryoso siya or joke time na maganda raw yung boss niya, but props to him for giving us a sample. Navigators make that a 5-0 run. Picking up from that technical timeout.
Monster block, courtesy of De Pedro. He's still holding on to his forearm. Medyo malakas na yung palo ni Batas. But they are enjoying an 8-point lead here in the second set.
Espanso bumps it to De Pedro. That was a sort of an adjustment. Batas again. Almagro from the back. Espanso sets up the play. De Pedro. De Castro ups it. Back to Batas. The drop picked up by Villamor. Naabot ni Torres. Boy pa ang bola. Dakula with a push.
That was a good set from Mangulabdan. Dakulan opting to go for a push.
$18 serving 9. This is the biggest lead of the game so far. Oh, De Guzman getting one for Ateneo.
He has been quiet in terms of production. He did score an ace a while ago, but now this time he scores off that a quick attack. They need more of that.
Ateneo behind by 8 points. Combination, Villamor.
Cortez, also a power hitter, now comes in. Villamor already has 10 markers in this game.
De Castro bumps it to Batas. Good dig by Espanso, but no one was there.
Excellent dig though from Espanso. Great effort there.
Baka amot siya, sayang daw. Dakulan continues to serve. 11-19. De Pedro. It's back with him. Torres. Third try for the blue shirts. They switch to Cortez. Wala pa rin. Batas. No. Kennedy again. Back and forth. Ateneo gets another chance.
Ooh.
Is set by Mangulabnan to Gopio. And that one is a point for De Pedro.
Set was way off for that slide attack. Sometimes that is the tendency pag yung outside hitter consecutively na check yung bola. They would revert to going to these drop balls pero nababasa ng D'Navigators.
That's just good defense by the Navigators. Knowing the tendencies of Ateneo. And that one is into the stands. Point for the Blue Eagles.
12-20.
20 serving 12 here in the second set. Good receive by De Pedro. Guaza.
21-12.
Aldre Ferrer just enjoying his options right now. Daming options from the front to the back. Everybody is delivering para sa D'Navigators.
And there was also a violation for the Navigators.
That was point number 8 for Jet Gopio.
Gopio with a serve. Ferrer goes to Guaza again.
Bilis, that was such a quick hit. Maganda kay Guaza. He doesn't wait for the receive. Pumapasok siya, tapos hinahatid na lang ni Aldre Ferrer. That's why they're very successful in setting up these zero-tempo plays.
3 points away from taking a 2-set advantage. Batas from the back. Foot fault.
That will be an illegal attack. More substitutions on the side of the Navigators. Lim will replace Nas Guaza. Much deserved rest.
Sumobra yung set. Chance here for the Navigators. Villamor. Popped up by Dakulan. Almadro.
Oh.
Yes!
Saktong-sakto. Donut hole of a defense from the Navigators.
(14-23) is the score. Outside for Jan Mangulabnan, and that puts the Navigators at set point.
That is frustrating on the side of Ateneo. They've been trying their best to get past the defense of the Navigators, but they have been giving free points from that service line. Set 1 pa lang, we already saw a number of service errors, but they will get that point back. They will save 1 set point.
The Navigators, and Torres with the exclamation point to end set number 2 with a convincing win over Ateneo at 25-15. We will give you set number 3 when we return here on Pilipinas Live.
We welcome you back to the continuing coverage of the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference here on Pilipinas Live. The Navigators Iloilo up by 2-0 against the Ateneo Fudgee Barr Blue Eagles. From the start of the second set, we already saw the dominance in the attacking department. Dito sa side ng the Navigators Iloilo, and Ateneo continue to struggle not just on their passing but also on their attacking, because it was very predictable. 16 attacks for the Navigators, only 9 for the Blue Eagles. Ateneo also had more errors in set number 2. Now, we mentioned already that there are non-negotiables on the side of Ateneo, lalo na't kulang sila dun sa starting unit. Coach Timmy Santo Tomas really tried to shuffle the players. He decided to put in Mangulabnan as the setter, Ryan Dakulan as an opposite hitter, but the Navigators still won set number 2. Now let's see if the Navigators could end this match in a convincing manner, or will Ateneo extend this to a 4th?
The Navigators Iloilo looking good in this match, on pace to get their second win, and we see Francis Saura in action for the first time in this game.
You have 4 new players in the starting unit. You have Lim, Cortez, Saura, and Apolinario.
We begin set number 3 here on Pilipinas Live and One Sports Plus. Tip Tipianco with Neil Flores calling this match, and first point for Francis Saura right away.
Tallest player on the floor for sure. That will be a big advantage for the Navigators Iloilo, and they do want to end this in 3 straight sets kasi syempre may chance pa din naman sila. Depende dun sa mga magiging result ng other games, but there are more points in 3 straight wins. I mean, 3-set wins compared to a 5-setter.
Or they will have to hope for some losses on the part of Perpetual Help, though, in their pool. Meanwhile, a good block for Ateneo.
Ateneo also has that height. When you look at their front row right now,
and that's going to be a point for the Navigators.
these are the miscues na ayaw makita ng mga coach, because it was a good hustle on the side of the Blue Eagles. They had that dig, but there was no follow-up.
Ateneo responds with that point.
Ryan Dakulan is a middle blocker, so it just makes sense to design plays na mailalabas niya yung galing niya. That double quick was the right decision for Mangulabnan.
Two all here. What an attack from Torres.
Just utilizing speed. Now we're hearing blocking instructions from Coach Timmy Santo Tomas. Medyo malayo si Jet Lee Gopio dun sa taong minaman niya.
Mangulabnan goes to Gopio, sent back. De Castro sends it over. Apolinario, inangat. Cortez, no.
That was just too low for Cortez.
Batas now has 10 attack points for Ateneo. That one is a point off the block for Cortez.
Instantly making up for the lost point in the previous rally.
Francis Saura will serve. Mangulabnan. Tough angle for Almadro. Saura again.
Ball is out. 4-all.
Four points each for these teams here in set number 3. Apolinario. Batas to Almadro. Good defense by Dakulan. But Batas was short on that one.
I guess right now he's feeling the pressure kasi siya nga naman yung expected to score most of the points para dito sa Ateneo. So the rest of the players need to step up as well. Kagaya nun, De Guzman with a perfect quick. Just avoiding the block of Lim.
Mangulabnan chases. High ball to Almadro. Cortez from the back.
We can obviously see the difference in the power of the attacks of Ateneo and the Navigators at this point. Pag out of system play, kadalasan ihinahatid lang ng Ateneo papunta sa The Navigators. Pag bumalik yung bola sa Ateneo, you can just feel that power.
Mangulabnan goes to De Guzman. Jan to De Guzman again, and this time they connect. 6-all here in set number 3.
Oh. Too low on the toss and the contact point.
Seven to 6. Mangulabnan. Oh!
That error will give Ateneo their 7th point. This is a slow start for the Navigators comparing it to their performance in the first 2 sets.
Yung set number 2, 8-0 agad eh. This time Ateneo, neck and neck with them. Off speed for Villamor. And that sends us to our first technical timeout.
Dip Neil with my interview earlier with Ken Batas of the Ateneo. Batas right here apparently is a Miss Universe fan, and he mentioned that unlike the pageant's result today, they wish to bring home the crown to Ateneo. This is backed up by a change in attitude, particularly in the team's maturity. After the second set, you can feel the intensity with the team, but Coach Timothy right here reminded them that they have roles to follow and to just stick with it. Now let's see how they'll bounce back to this third set.
Thank you, Denise, for that report. Coach Timothy Santo Tomas, very busy man. Also coaching in the pros in the women's volleyball.
That's one of the downsides lang siguro na magpapalit ng tao in the third set. We do have to remember that 4 of the players came from the bench. So baka malamig pa sila in terms of movement and flow.
Cordez. Picked up by Dakulan. Free ball for the Navigators. Apolinario to Saura. Mangulabnan to Batas. It's back with the white shirts. Ooh. De Castro. Not pleased with that previous play.
He wanted to go for a quick attack, but that is very tricky, lalo na pag underhand. If he was located before the attack line, pwede pa sana i-jump set yon papunta sa middle blocker. Pero alanganin din kasi talaga.
Buti nila nakatalikod si Gopio, hindi niya nakita yung reaction ni De Castro. But Ateneo answers back. And this is so close right now here in set number 3, 9-all. Batas will serve for Ateneo. Apolinario opposite to Cordez. And shut down by Gopio and Mangulabnan.
This is the set na talagang nakita natin yung blocking ng Ateneo Blue Eagles. They've had 2 or 3 kill blocks already here in this third set. They're just at that 10-point mark. And now they're up by 1 against the Navigators.
Ten all here in set number 3. Mangulabnan goes to Almadro. And a point for Ateneo.
That's the second point of Almadro.
And Ateneo takes the lead. 11-10 here in set number 3. Apolinario inangat. Saura picks it up.
Ooh. Sayang, it was a good defensive sequence from the Blue Eagles. Nakalampas man sa first line of defense. The defenders were ready to pick up that ball. Net violation will give that point to the Navigators.
Mangulabnan goes to Almadro, the off-speed. Back row from Saura. Mangulabnan able to save it. It's back with the blue shirts. Cordez galing sa likod. De Castro with a good dig. Here comes Almadro on the approach. And he clipped the net. And that set was a bit close, no?
Yeah.
To the net, so it turned into a net violation. Sayang because Ateneo were able to save those attacks. Binawi.
That's a better hit from Almadro. When you're an outside hitter, it really boils down to the intention. And the intention would always be to score. It's not the intention of a player to just put that ball over. Because there will be no challenge in that. Overreaching violation called on De Guzman.
(13) serving 12 here. Mangulabnan, tough one. They go to Torres. 2-point lead for the Navigators. De Guzman gets a point.
Ateneo's just keeping it close here in the third set compared to the first two. They're getting these quick attacks in. Mas nakikita na natin yung power na hinahanap natin dun sa outside hitters.
AJ Almadro will serve 13-14. Apolinario inangat sa likod kay Saura. It's short. Doesn't go over. So Ateneo will tie this one up again at 14 all.
That is a service ace. Lead will go back to the Blue Eagles.
AJ Almadro, I'm sure Coach O is one happy man right now seeing the performance of his son.
Oh, what a dig by Lance De Castro.
Batas, a bit too high. Mangulabnan, back to Batas. Kept alive by Torres. Players scrambling to save the ball. Steady receive from Lorenzo. Saved by Apolinario. Villamor goes up. De Castro. Batas again. It's still playable.
Oh! Ryan Daculang mistiming that ball. Akala niya siguro regalo
Oo.
na kaya niyang paluin.
Masyado malayo. And those are the unfortunate sequences that you will look back at kasi they were playing good defense. And now, because of that point, the Navigators are tied once again. De Guzman gives the lead back for Ateneo.
He's been very active in that middle blocker position.
And we go to the second technical timeout. Ateneo up by 1.
Right here, Coach Coach Almadro supporting his son, Anjo of the Ateneo Fudgee Barr. Right here, Coach. Hello, kamusta naman po?
I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, Coach, prior to this game, no, did you have a talk with Anjo to boost his confidence, seeing now his effort in this game?
Yeah, I just reminded him just to enjoy and follow the game plan of the coach, follow the coach, and sabi ko sa kanya, it's the break that he's waiting for, so just play kung ano yung pinapractice niya, and always ask the Lord for strength.
Coach, no, how has been Anjo's support system so far coming into this league?
Well, we've been supporting him all throughout since his grade school, and we know that he really wants this. Whether may playing time or wala, he really puts passion and time in what he's doing. So talagang devoted siya dito sa sport na to.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's it right here. We'll get back to you guys.
Thank you, Denise. Coach Oliver Almadro, pretty sure has taught a lot of things to AJ, which he is applying on court right now for the Blue Eagles. A good mentor. And supporting him here in the Paco Arena. Usually we see Coach O on the sidelines coaching.
Yeah.
Ito naman as a supporter for his son.
And he's also a very busy man. Balita ko galing pa siya sa Challenge Cup, coaching the UP Fighting Maroons. Tapos meron pang beach volleyball sa Mall of Asia. Now he's here in the Paco Arena. The Navigators will get a 1-point lead against the Blue Eagles. always the end game. Ito talaga yung pinakamatagal when you're trying to close out your opponent.
Yep. Outside for Batas. Timeout will be called by Ateneo.
Kasama mo para kumuha ng bola. Eh, ikaw na yung nakakita eh. Diba? At saka ano bang trabaho mo? Diba trabaho mo protektahan yung net natin? O, bakit ipapasa mo sa iba? Diba? Okay, next. Okay, huwag tayo magtapon ng atake. Sabi sa inyo, hanapin nyo lagi floor muna. Kasi ang hinahanap nyo agad, hanap agad kayo ng checkout eh. Ipasok nyo muna yung palo nyo sa loob ng court. Pag check out, well and good. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. One good pass. One good pass.
Two-point lead right now for the Navigators. Ateneo trying to force a fourth set. Espanso's there. Apolinario sets up Cortez off the block.
Now the Navigators are building up on their lead. Not to save a lead though, but they just need 6 points to get their second win here in the Spikers turf.
Medyo gapang no itong set number 3 for Iloilo. With Ateneo playing their best set yet. Apolinario back sets. And the back row attack from Villamor.
There are 2 players that have remained in that starting unit since the opening set. It's Villamor and Torres, both very consistent players for the Navigators.
Iloilo now at the 20-point mark. 5 points away from taking the match. Dug up by Apolinario. Cortez. Batas. That's good.
Batas continuing to fight for the white shirts. He's more comfortable pag nakakuha siya ng differential sets. Pag super taas kasi medyo mahirap din timingan eh. So sometimes the outside hitters asks the setter na i-adjust din yung toss.
Sub coming in for Coach Rizalito Del Moro. Chumbinco again will enter to replace Torres. 1-2 for Mangulabnan, does not work. Saura, that one drops.
Such a loose block displayed by Ateneo in that last rally. Hinabol na lang din kasi ni Jet Li Gopio. So there were a lot of gaps.
Gopio able to reach. The bump to Saura. Naibalik.
This is the best set for Ateneo in terms of net defense. I count 4 kill blocks for the Blue Eagles. Chumbinco with an excellent receive.
Sent back. Oh, that was a tough set. Almost a point. Almadro attacks. Villamor. Rejected by Gopio.
It is a block party for Ateneo here in the tail end of set number 3. 3 points down for the Navigators. They're 3 points away from ending this in 3 straight sets.
inside for Cortez.
23-19.
23-19 here in the third set. Saura will serve.
Oh, that is just a high set for a quick play.
The Navigators Iloilo have arrived at match point. Better first ball. Here comes Almadro. Set back. It's still good. Chance here for Iloilo. And Cortez with a finishing touch.
At 25-19.
And a straight set win for the Navigators over the Ateneo Fudgee Barr Blue Eagles.
For taking this match.
Well-deserved win for the Navigators. Everybody pitching in for the production. And for Ateneo, they will officially bow out of our Spikers Turf Conference.
For the Navigators, we will talk about the implications for this one after this break.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have reached the end of our game's quadruple header, and we ended it with a bang, with the Navigators ending the games with a 3-setter. Now we have here GJ of the Navigators with a total of 9 attacks. First of all, congratulations. Okay, my first question is, you had incredible 3 straight sets for this game today. Now, what was the mindset of the team pushing you to win in just 3 sets?
Yung mindset po namin ngayon is talagang in-enjoy lang namin yung game and nag-focus lang kami dahil sunod-sunod din kasi yung game namin. Kaya sabi ng manager namin enjoyin lang namin. So yun, in-enjoy namin and thankful at panalo naman kami.
It seemed like you guys enjoyed the games, no? But there were moments, lalo na sa third set, na it was becoming tight against the opposing team. How did you guys adjust to this?
Siguro kasi nag-relax kami nung medyo lumayo na kami. And nung nag-time out na si coach, sinabi niya na huwag kami mag-relax and tapusin na namin kasi anong oras na daw. So yun lang po.
Yeah, thank you so much, GJ Torres, and to the rest of your team, congratulations. Uuwi silang masaya. That's it for today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Denise. Our player of the game, GJ Torres. Napakatotoo niya dun sa sinabi niya na Neil. Because it is almost 9:30. This is the end of our Spikers Turf game day inside the Paco Arena. But straight set win over Ateneo. They sort of struggled in that third set. Ateneo made their adjustments, and you mentioned because nagpasok sila ng mga players who came off the bench for Iloilo.
And Ateneo had a couple of kill blocks here in set number 3, but it wasn't enough to overpower the attackers of the Navigators Iloilo. Ateneo really struggled today in terms of reception and efficiency in their attacks. That's why you will see a big difference there in that department. They did score 4 block points, but all throughout the 3 sets as well, ang daming misuse ng Ateneo. This time around, they had 7, and the Navigators only had 5.
The Navigators Iloilo taking advantage of the lineup that Ateneo had today in this matchup. They were not complete, as you mentioned, Neil, dahil sa beach volleyball and others recovering from their health. And ito naman nating games on Wednesday. We continue still here inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. It will be Don Facundo de la Salle Dasmariñas going up against Army, followed by VNS and San Beda. And then for our final match, it's Santa Rosa versus Coast Guard for that Wednesday triple header. And that does it for us here on Pilipinas Live on One Sports Plus. Thank you for joining us all throughout this long day of volleyball. On behalf of our courtside reporter Denise Valdesancho, my partner Neil Flores, my name is Dip Dipianco saying thank you for watching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference where power meets passion.